Good Friday morning to everybody. Aaron Mortrid from Midwest Pack Baseball Club, based out of Shipshewana, Indiana. Today's topic that we wanted to present to you is regards to what level of baseball should I pursue, or should I have my son pursue. Lots of different things to take into consideration when making that decision. Hopefully this video, this presentation, which is going to be a little bit short today, will give a little bit more clarity, but we suggest that you do a lot of research on your own. There's a ton of information that's available just by doing some basic Google searches. But again, we just want to give you a little bit of clarity today. So sit back, hope this helps. The Division I level, typically has some really nice facilities, training facilities, actual stadiums, things like that. And I hope that everybody doesn't think that that Division I is the only place that has facilities like that. Here's Bart Kaufman Field down in Bloomington, Indiana. Beautiful, beautiful venue. IU Bloomington's got a gorgeous campus there. This is a very nice spot, no question. But we're going to show you something here in a second that might surprise you a little bit and make you realize that you don't have to go Division I. This is Municipal Stadium in Kokomo, Indiana, home of the Indiana University Kokomo campus, the Cougars. You can see it's pretty nice. IU Kokomo is an NAIA school, and that is a beautiful facility there. It's not as quite as new, I don't think, as Bloomington, but it is absolutely fantastic. I've had the opportunity to watch my kids play at that location twice, and it's second to none. So, just because you're NAIA or Division II or Division III doesn't mean that you can't get some fantastic facilities. This is proof of that, and there are many examples of that all across the United States. So I want to tell you too, the quality of baseball at NAIA schools, Division II and Division III, isn't necessarily below that of Division I. Now, certainly when you get to the power conferences in Division I, you have a different level of program, a different level of athlete, quite honestly. Players that go to Cal State Fullerton, Long Beach State, University of Miami, places like that, Arizona State, they're going to get a little bit different athlete. However, the quality of baseball isn't really a whole heck of a lot different when you go through the ranks from Division I down to NAIA. Here's a great example. Talk about IU Kokomo again. Their head coach, Matt Howard. Coach Howard is a really special guy in the baseball world, just doing a great job down at Kokomo. He was an All-American at Division II Slippery Rock University in Pennsylvania, and went on to play professionally in the Frontier League, 3 years in the Frontier League, and now he's coaching again at IU Kokomo. So here's the thing. Players that played at a high level that are now coaches are bringing the same high level attitude and expectations to their programs in Division I or NAIA or Division II. So you have guys like Coach Howard that the only thing that they've ever known is playing the game correctly and approaching it correctly and playing and training and practicing with a certain intensity. And they're bringing that, Coach Howard and others are bringing that to the lower levels of collegiate baseball. And as a result, the quality of play at those places has gone up dramatically. So again, don't think that you have to be Division I to get quality coaching or quality facilities. There's both from top to bottom in all the divisions. Part of the decision-making process, of course, is scholarship money. Every kid wants to get a baseball scholarship and play someplace. Well, the reality is that there are not a whole heck of a lot of baseball scholarships that exist. As you can see here, NCAA Division I allows 11.7 scholarships that can be divided amongst players. Now, if you're a 6'4", 6'5" left-hander that throws 99 miles an hour, you're going to get a full scholarship most likely. So that takes you to 10.7 that has to be divided amongst other players. As of this year, the average in-state tuition in the state of Indiana for Division I schools that have baseball is just over $23,000. The average D1 roster has 36 players. That means if these scholarships were to be divided completely equally, it'd only be about $7,500 per player. And again, when you mix in that there are some big-time pitchers that command larger portions of that scholarship, that $7,500 goes down dramatically. So if you're looking at deciding on a school from a financial standpoint, there's not necessarily a ton of money in Division I baseball. Then you have to make some decisions. Do you want to play Division I? To be able to say that you played Division I, to be part of that, which there's nothing wrong with that. You know, a lot of guys would like to go and just be a role player, a guy that quite honestly just sits a bench and helps out in practice. But to be able to say that they played at an Indiana University or Clemson or something like that. But guys that really want to play a lot and want to get some school paid for, maybe not the best idea. So when we take a look at Division II baseball in the state of Indiana, the average tuition is $13,422 a year. Division II allows 9 scholarships. Again, it's the same division that they can be divided up amongst players. Now, you're going to notice too that the average D2 roster has a few more players, up to 42 players. If all that money were to be divided equally, you're at only $2,800 per player. So again, you have to sit and determine what's important to you. Now, the amount of scholarship that you get there isn't necessarily quite such a big deal because the average cost of tuition at D2 schools is less than it is, quite honestly, from D1 schools or D3 or NAIA. So there's some weights and balances that you have to do there to see what might be a good fit for you baseball-wise. When you go to the Division III level of the NCAA, a couple things to notice is that the cost of tuition goes through the roof. It gets really, really expensive. Most Division III schools are older private institutions that just cost a little bit more money to go to. Division III does not allow athletic scholarships. The Division III roster is typically the same as the Division I roster, so your average scholarship money, though, is still $0. Now, what you're going to find out with some Division III schools is that they do have some flexibility in terms of grants and things like that that are available. Because they don't give athletic scholarships, there's a tendency to have some extra dollars from some other places. But again, just there is no actual baseball money to be had at Division III. NAIA, similar costs to Division I. Actually, they get just a smidge more scholarship allowed, 12 versus 11.7. Average roster is 42 players that can be divided amongst. So the amount of money that you're getting, $7,000. And if you remember, the amount of money from a Division I school was in that same category. So if you look at NAIA versus Division I, similar cost to go to school, similar amounts of scholarship money, similar number of scholarships available, rosters are reasonably similar. So probably not a bad thing to take a look at for NAIA. And again, as we saw, when you're looking at the facilities and the coaching, you're not losing anything from that perspective either. Now, junior college, here's the one that most people poo-poo and don't want to have anything to do with. They'd rather say that they played D2 or D3 than that they played junior college. Well, there's a lot of really, really, really good junior college baseball. Guys go directly from junior college to professional baseball, and there are a lot of junior college schools that are direct conduits to Division I 4-year schools. So you can play your first two at a national junior college, and then transfer to a larger 4-year school to realize your dream of playing Division I. Now, this is the most affordable of all of the options out there for baseball. $6,300 is the average tuition in the state of Indiana. NJCAA allows 24 scholarships. The average NJCAA roster is 23 players. So it tells you there's some money there. And if you look at the scholarship guidelines there, the colleges can grant full athletic scholarships to include tuition, books, fees, room and board, and up to $250 in course required supplies plus transportation. That's pretty impressive. And I'm going to guess that most people listening to this had no idea that there was that much money in junior college baseball. Division II, they can give scholarships to, but it's limited to tuition, books, and fees, and up to $250 in course required supplies. Still, very, very, very affordable chance to play some really good baseball that could have a payout of possibly professional baseball or Division I or Division II school afterwards. So I wish that we were smart enough to have all this information ourselves, but we do a lot of research here trying to find out information like this. Scholarshipstats.com is a fantastic site for all sports, but particularly for baseball, we've found to give you up-to-date and accurate information on scholarships for all the different levels of baseball, NAIA through Division I, how many scholarships are available, what the average is, all types of things like that. So I'd suggest that you spend a lot of time researching scholarshipstats.com. That's a great place to do some research. So, there's a lot that goes into trying to figure out where you're going to go to school. You gotta decide what's good for you geographically, the size of the school, what you want to study, what it's going to cost. That's a huge component, is what it's going to cost. How much debt are you going to come out with? What do you want out of your college baseball experience? Again, as I said at the very beginning, some kids just want to be part of the program at Division I. Some kids want to play a lot, knowing that they're never going to play past their 4 years in high school or college. This is what I would suggest. You got to look at the whole picture: money, what you want out of baseball, how long you want to play, weigh all those things, because at some point every ball player plays their last game. Try to make it on your terms, whatever those terms might be, because if you don't, somebody at some point tells you that you're not good enough. So sit, do some research. Players, talk with your folks talk with your players. Ask questions of us. We don't have all the answers, but we certainly want to point people in a good, right direction, and treat players the same as I've always wanted for my sons, which was for them to be able to play the game as long as they want to play the game. So we are here to help with all that. Midwest Pac Baseball Club. Visit our website, midwestpacbaseball.org. You can email us information at midwestpacbaseball.org. You can also follow us on Facebook, our YouTube channel, Twitter, and Instagram. If you find these videos helpful that we're doing, the information that we put out helpful, please tell a friend, pass it through the baseball community. Let your high school coaches know, friends and families know. We are really trying to do baseball differently here at Midwest Pac Baseball Club. Not trying to make money off of it, just trying to help get kids into college, in a very affordable manner. So anything we can do to help, let us know, but we appreciate you passing along the information. Thanks. Have a great weekend.